All right, so we're going to look at this alphabet distance problem. And as you can see from it, the idea is rooted in cryptology, and it's looking at really saying, okay, how far apart are some letters? And it's saying, okay, if I wrap around, then I need to go the opposite. So A minus A gives me 0, A minus B gives me 1, but the flip side, B minus A gives me 25, etc. So we need to make sure we're accompanying that in. Now the one thing we are going to change, we are not going to have it read a whole file in with a number, so that'll make it a little bit simpler. But let's take a look at what we have here. So we're going to start with an input string. And the example that we'll do is A, B, C, D, A. We'll start with that one. Okay. Now what we want to do is split the string into two strings. Now the best way to do that, or one of the easier ways to do that, is with a scanner. So I can say scanner scan equals new scanner. And I'm going to read that string in as my input. Okay, and then I'm going to come over and import my scanner. Now when I use that as my input, I can use the next command. So I'm going to say string, we'll call it first equals scan.next, and it's not next line, just next. And then string second equals scan.next again. Okay, and so that reads our two parts in. Okay, now what we need to do is take these parts and compare them. So I'm looking at letter to letter. Now one thing it said in the instructions was that the two pieces are going to be equal length, so we don't have to worry about one being longer than the other. So as I loop through this, I can just loop through looking at one size, knowing that they're both going to be the same. So let's do a loop, because we want to essentially loop through all the letters. And so I'm going to go I less than first dot length. And again, I could have used either one here, but they're the same size, so I know that's going to work for both of them. Okay. Now what I want to do is compare the distances, and when I get those distances, I need to then add them to a string. So I'm going to have an output string as well. And I have to give it a starting value because I'm going to use it in my loop, otherwise it won't be initialized. Okay, so now what I want to do is compare these lengths. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to have an integer, we'll call it difference, equals, and now I'm going to do a, take my second, because I want to do second minus first. I do character at, and I. Now I could do a compare and do a subtraction that way as well, but I like to use the character at because the character is essentially a numeric value. It takes a letter and turns it into a numeric value. So I can subtract letters this way as well. So I can do character at for second minus first, character at I, and so I get the two first letters that way. Now here's the little trick. It said if the second one was less than the first one, we needed to add 26. And so what we can do for that is we can just have a quick if statement. If difference is less than 0, then diff plus equals 26. So that'll essentially flip it around and add 26 to it. Okay. Now what we need to do is output this. And so again, we're going to output plus equals. Now we're going to take our number and put it in. When we add it in like that, it becomes a string. So we add our difference, plus we need a space in there, and that should be just about it. Okay. Now that finishes off our loop. All we need to do is output this, and so we're going to output our output line, and let's give that a try. So there we go. 0, 5, 25, 24, 23, that's what we're looking for. If I switch this around to something like that, I should get all zeros. A, B, C, D, I should get 1, 2, 3, 4, or 0, 1, 2, 3. And let me go back and take a look at and try another one. So let's look at this Deadly Ultimo. Try that, and we get 17, 7, 19, 5, 1, 16. And we should have gotten 17, 7, 19, 5, 1, 16. And so it looks good. That should do us. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.